Alright, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Now this video is a recap of 2025. Now what a year this has been. Right now it's December 31st at 8:30 p.m. I'm not going out drinking because why would I start the new year at like 1, 2 a.m. in the morning, going to be hungover, no sleep after drinking or drugs. Why would I start the new year with a loss? So I've got probably an hour and a half left before I go to bed of 2026 planning, finalising some systems, some SOPs to put myself in the best possible position to get to where I want to go this year, or next year rather, in 4 hours time. So 2025, we take it back. So from January all the way till May, I was just grinding. So training twice a day as well as sales when I was living in Gold Coast, Australia. So it was simple as that. My routine and calendar was exactly the same every single day. It was wake up, train first thing in the morning, come home, sales work, train again, go to bed. That was it, 6 days a week. Sunday was like a half day, did some reflection, took a little bit of time for myself. That was, like I said, from January to May the 8th. May the 8th, 2025 will always be a special day for me because that's the day I moved out of home. But I didn't just move in the same city. I moved from the Gold Coast, Australia to Koh Samui, Thailand. So I wanted to leave Australia because I didn't see Australia aligning with my goals, like the government, to get to where I want to go. So moved to Koh Samui, spent 1 month there. And then I was planning to live there the whole time, but I really wanted to have a boxing fight. And they only had Muay Thai in Koh Samui, Thailand obviously, so what can you expect? So my brother and one of our really good friends, they were living together in Bali. So I'm like, you know what, fuck it. A month after living in Koh Samui, I moved to Bali. Ended up staying there for around 3 to 4 months with a villa with my brother and one of our friends, Nick. So it was an absolutely phenomenal experience. Living with the boys, hustling day in and day out. So I was on quite a few sales offers during this time. Three sales opportunities during this time. One was decent, 2 were very average. And towards the end of that 4-month stint living in Bali, I had my first boxing fight. Now prior to that, I was supposed to have a boxing fight probably a month and a half from being in Bali, but we couldn't find a matchup for my opponent. So I pretty much did a full weight cut, and yeah, we couldn't find a matchup. So I was absolutely devastated. And then around 2.5 months later, towards the end of that 4-month stint in Bali, is when I actually had my fight. Now, one thing that's given me a huge motivation moving into 2026 to get to my income goals and to get that level of time freedom, set up businesses and the level of financial freedom I want to is I was balancing fight camp. So when I was doing my boxing fight camp, training 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours at night, with my 9-10 hours of sleep, and you've got to time the meals at certain times, as I'm sure you can imagine. So trying to do that whilst balancing a sales closing position, it was fucking horrible for me. So I actually left the closers role around 2.5, 3 weeks out from my fight because I was really struggling. It was just constantly drain. There was no time to rest and recover from the 4 hours of training I was doing every day because I had to make money and do sales work. So that's given me a huge why in the future. When I do a boxing camp, which I will do more fights in the future, I don't want to worry about money. I want the business to be on autopilot, so where I may be only working 3-4 hours a day rather than a full 8, 9, 10 hour day. So that was a huge motive for me. Now come October the 11th, I had my first boxing fight. And it was absolutely spectacular experience. I didn't technically get the result I wanted, even though I walked away from the fight, reviewed it. I personally believe I won. However, the judges thought otherwise. It is what it is, it's part of the game. I'll definitely be back. So that was a little bit of a loss there. But in the grand scheme of the thing, it was a win. However, I'm sure you can imagine when you train that long, you really want the win. So we'll just use that as motivation for the next fight. During that time in Bali, my income went from probably around 10K towards January, February of this year, 2025, to some months I was only making $1,500 to maybe $2,000. Right? So there was a lot of ups and downs this year, a lot of ups and downs. So it was a huge year of growth. My dating, that was some time I put into. Had a couple of relationships, in a relationship now, and I really progressed that skill. My fighting and physique got into the best shape I've ever got into my life, had my first boxing fight, and my income was like that. until I moved to Colombia around 3 months ago. So here in Medellin specifically, so 2.5 months ago actually. When I've been in Medellin, I've literally been working, I'm working 14 hours a day now. But prior to the last month, I was working anywhere from 10 to 12 hours a day, 7 days a week of just sales. Like, it started looking for a new offer. Then I landed the offer, doing all the onboarding. Now I've been on that offer I started taking inbound calls on the 3rd of December. And right now it's the 31st of December and I've made $35,000 this month. So, been an absolutely phenomenal experience. I've taken my income from around 10K at the start of the year to anywhere from 1 to 3K throughout the year to now my top month, the last month of the year, being $35,000. And I see myself January, February, March having a $50,000, $75,000 month. I can see it. It's there. I'm onboarding an assistant. I've got a new one-on-one mentor. It's going to happen. Like, I can see it. It's just it's a guarantee at this point. So, also during the year, I've originally was just going to move to Koh Samui, Thailand. But as I mentioned, I got that data set that there's no boxing fights here, so I moved elsewhere. That move turned into traveling to Vietnam in there as well. Obviously, like I said, living in Bali, in Indonesia. Also, traveling to Singapore. And then I'm like, you know what, fuck it. If I'm going to go all in on sales so I can get off the sales calls, get into a consultancy role to have that more time freedom so I can go and do more fights, I'm going to let me relocate to the EST time zone. Because we all know the money's in the US time zone. They've got the best financing, the prospects are easier, and for an Australian, you've got the USD conversion rate. So you're making 50% more on your money just by relocating. So I said, fuck it. I've got to relocate to the EST time zone. Came here to Medellin, right, which is where I live now, and I also have traveled to Mexico this year as well for 7 to 8 days. So I look at 2025 as a total year of growth. So both from, don't get me wrong, the financial aspect, yes, but from a self-development aspect. It's like I've gone from a boy to a man this year. That's the best way I can put it, right? And there's been a lot of ups and downs. There's been some sleepless nights, but that's all a part of growing. And with everything I've done this year, everything in place now going into 2026, I look at, like I said, 2025 was the year of my growth. 2026, it's the same intention that my brother has going into it, Zen. It's going to be the year of us building generational wealth. So income is the aim of the game for 2026 in my books, because I've had that year of growth. And yeah, I can guarantee you. So mark my words, it is December 31st, 2025 at 8:39 p.m. Mark my words, 1 year from now, I can assure you I will have at least made $100,000 in a single month. You can mark my words, we'll clip this, come back to it in a year's time. I'll be living in Dubai, set up, life fully optimized, because I know what I'm doing is going to get there. So I appreciate you watching the video. I'll see you on the next one, guys. And let's absolutely fucking crush 2026 together.